So I'd just like for you to talk about how the evolution or the idea of the show came about, and will people stop talking about the illusions between that person who will not be named and Courtney's ride?
It's Voldemort.
I shall not be named.
Well, the whole country right now is very focused on politics, and if your Facebook feed is like mine, people that weren't even necessarily engaged before, you see, are very engaged, and they have opinions that they want to share. So I think the fact that there's a lot of caring right now about communities and politics and how we organize ourselves, I think is going to sort of always influence the show in some way. But I think the show is really fundamentally about the growth of a boy into a man and a man into a leader, and this ensemble that he's populated his life with to help on this journey. His mother, his aides, his best friends. But I think that everything that's going around in the country influences the show, in ways that are obvious and not so obvious.
That was a very hopeful show. I liked what you said about his sort of rise. I mean, as you all saw in the pilot, he wants to really improve his community. I think that's really awesome. You all come together to help that out. So I'd like to talk about the relationship between Courtney and his mom.
Yes.
They're like brother and sister. And yet, you're never afraid to check him. Like, you check him really quickly. So,
Yes.
to talk about what it's like to work together and how your relationship changes and evolves over the season.
Yvette is great.
No, Yvette is mom on and off the screen. And I say that constantly because it's true. This is our spiritual mom, and she keeps us grounded. She keeps us humble. She makes sure that we understand that the path that we're walking on, the story that we're telling is important. And that is the most important thing, is the show, and that the relationships that we're building here. So the relationship that you see out on, Facebook Live or something like that, Instagram, that's the same relationship that you see on the screen, because that's what we bring to work every day. I love working with Yvette.
Listen, first of all, because this hasn't been said, she had him very young.
Me too.
Very, almost insanely young, almost too young to have a child. And they grew up together, so they're best friends, and they're, mother and son. But our relationship now, no.
What?
Oh my God.
I mean, there's something to be said for, a single mom who is raising, like what you said before, a young man in this world, and especially in the political climate that we're in. So she takes on the role of dad. She takes on the role of mom, of best friend, of, everything that you would look for in a single parent. That's what she does. And once again, she does that on and off the screen. Yeah. She helped me find a refrigerator, y'all. She legit texted me and was like, "You getting your refrigerator today?" And she took me to the store. And that's just the kind of maternal love that Yvette has, and she has for all of us. Yeah. And it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
All right.
Awesome. In the pilot, as we saw, Courtney makes a not so smart decision to try to go to a concert as this big thing was happening. And I'd like to, if you guys could maybe tease out some of the other situations that happen, or at least some of the things that occur that teach Courtney and the rest of you lessons.
First off, I don't think it was it was David Diggs. Yeah, you so.
It wasn't too bad. We'll get into that.
Right.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, I think, for the early part of Courtney's journey, first he has to figure out, okay, I have this huge opportunity here. How do I want to use that? How do I want to use the bully pulpit I have? How do I want to use the power that I have? And that's something that he doesn't come in. He has a sense of what he cares about in general, but the specifics he's got to figure out. So we're going to see him learn that. And then he's also got to learn the fundamentals of okay, how does one actually go about doing that thing that I'm really good at rapping about? How do I actually move it through the system that is local government to actually get some results? So in those early episodes, you really do see him with the team, with the ensemble, really trying to figure it all out. And the learning curve is steep. he makes other mistakes. I'll tease that.
Yeah.
And I love that every episode is not wrapped up with Courtney learned a lesson and now everything's great.
No.
Sometimes everything's not great at the end of an episode, and he has to own that, because that's what responsibility is as an adult in this world. Sometimes you do your best and it's still not good enough. Yeah. So.
And something that the character, I think, is as sort of a young guy, a millennial, an impatient guy. I think that's something that isn't second nature to him. The idea that, like, okay, if I'm putting in all this effort, I'm putting in all this energy, I'm trying, shouldn't that be enough?
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes it's not, you know? And I mean, these are all things that he has to work through.